I want to begin, therefore, by saying that I join with all others in welcoming those of you in the scientific community who are here. I've come to indicate to you that the government fully supports this kind of research-driven conclave. I want to go further, that I personally believe and have always believed and have advocated that we need a university in the Bahamas that will become the bank for all such information and research. I go further. In discussions with the Vice Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, I have indicated to him that the government of the Bahamas, over decades, have spent millions and millions of dollars doing environmental impact assessments, environmental impact management plans, and we have not, to the extent that we ought to have, integrated the region and integrated the teaching institutions in our country into the process. So as a result, we ought not to be surprised that there is no coordination and integration of the research to the benefit of our country. And I think this kind of conclave gives you the opportunity to agree on a path that we will never leave. And that is a path where we bring the world into the Bahamas. We focus on issues relevant to sustainability, relevant to our future, and the overarching obligation to guarantee that future generations of Bahamians will be able to enjoy and experience the kind of the Bahamas that we now live in. Therefore, governments must be integrated into this process as well. Because when it comes to sustainability, the challenge for the country and the challenge for a government is how does one, in terms of one's priorities to get people jobs, to cause development, direct foreign investment where people come in, they want to make money, they want to be able to say, I'm going to bring people into the Bahamas, and therefore the development must take place. How does one establish the right balance where you are able to take advantage of the assets of your country, but at the same time be able to protect its future? And so the conflict that exists from government to government, prime minister to prime minister, you have no uniform, standardized, agreed position. And the danger is that when you are facing serious times, like the recession that we've just come out of, there is a temptation to agree to things ordinarily you might not agree to. And that is why the University of the Bahamas will become a major institutional force in this country. Because by definition, it will have no politics. By definition, it will have the future of our country before it. And its mandate will be to ensure that the things that are done in this country by way of governance all points towards securing the future of our people. Now, having said that, there are really nice bright spots in our past where ministers have been in government who have had a natural sort of connection to the environment. Earl DeVoe is one. And surprisingly for me, Hubert Ingram, who you would expect me to see as a political foe, has had a major, I think, commitment to the environment. And his work in that regard speaks, I think, for itself. So therefore, the bright spots are that the political establishment notwithstanding who's in power, would seem to be committed historically and today to the right approach to the environment. I want to get into some little bits of experiences that I have, seeing Elmer Garraway in the audience, for example. As a prime minister, you meet and people talk to you, they tell you your priorities, what your priorities ought to be, what theirs are, and you listen. And I remember a conversation about the west coast of Andros and the extraordinary significance that it has for the ecosystem of our country, and where I was being educated to believe that fish being tied in that area and research in that area would indicate that the west coast of Andros has a direct connection to the eco chain of the country, and even has implications as far away as Florida. Just before we debated office in 2007, I was talking with her about a group of scientists who were going to the West Coast to conduct research. So the body exists. In Waters Key, when I went down to perform an opening, I met a group of scientists who were in Waters Key off Grand Bahama, engaged in research. In the Exumas, we've met scientists from time to time, engaged in research. When we came to government this last time in 2012, we saw a book setting out research and a commitment to further research for the Exumas. I think a foreword was written by the former Prime Minister and Dr. DeVoe, the Harvard School of Design, in again, dealing with the waters of Exuma. We've given permission as the Minister of Health, as far back as 1977, Minister responsible for various matters of the environment, to institutions from the United States of America, like the University of Miami, that came in and would come in from time to time to engage in research in our waters. So there is plethora, this band of information that exists, but what was missing was the College of the Bahamas, the University of the Bahamas, integrated into this process.